Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
All right. Welcome to the Gridiron, baby. If you can give this video a thumbs up or maybe share this video, that would be absolutely freaking phenomenal. If you subscribe to my channel, thank you. If not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way next time I go live or if I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. It's totally free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. If you want to help support my channel, description box below, very top link takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. Each one has their own little perks to them. So once again, if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. I thank you in advance. Thank you. And then finally, just underneath that, there's another link in the description box. Takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, The Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. We have over 9,900 members in the group. We are this close to 10,000 members. And it's doing simply marvelous, might add. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing and if I got internet access, I am putting stuff in this group darn near 365. It's called the New York Giants, The Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. Please join it. You will not be dissatisfied. I promise. Well, I'll tell you what, we have, right now, it's almost Thursday. So you know what that means. Almost 1 week until football. I don't think I'll be, I would rather die of cancer than watch the Eagle. I mean, I'm not making, I just can't. So I don't even know if I'm. And then, of course, we're going to talk a little bit about the transaction that the Cowgirls made today. Talk about that just a little bit, but at least 1 week till football, right? So, man, gotta love it. But the Giants announced basically what Dable was talking about today's. Well, what's up, buddy? Everybody got a piece of paper. Everybody, I guess, got to put 5 names down there. And the guys who came up with the top 5, top 5 vote getters were the captains. And, I like this a lot. The guys that got taken, probably my favorite might be Slayton. You know what I mean? Because, that poor guy, right? I mean, he's been through nothing but absolute garbage almost for his whole career here. You know what I mean? He's still with the team. He signed with the team, came back with and all that and everything. When Dable and Shane first got here, I mean, he was almost sent on the practice squad. You know what I mean? They're like, well, this guy. I mean, he got demoted. But injuries, and he just kept his head down, grinding, worked his way back onto the team. And, it might have been some injuries there and everything, but, he's still here. And, was it seventh year came in 2019, I think it was. So I mean, I'm very, very happy for him. He's got some, he got his little his due. Being a captain, so I'm all for that one. Really like that one. But let's see where we at here. So they got the 5 of them. They had 5, I believe, last year as well too. Andrew Thomas was not one of them. Now the thing is, that's a tough one because I mean, obviously, for the most part, we really could use the guy on the offensive line. But he's kind of been over the past couple of years, he's kind of been I certainly don't want to say an afterthought, but, we're hoping he even makes it back to the first game this year, So he isn't one of the captains, but I understand, I understand where he kind of got I don't know, I say forgotten, but he wasn't voted in as captain. I can certainly understand that. But so we got the Spider-Man. And we got Sexy Dexy, and then we got Bobby Okereke. I'm fine with that. No problems there. Russell Wilson, right? And then Darius Slayton. So 3 guys from defense, 2 on offense. No special teamers. It is what it is, right? So the votes are in, heading into the final weekend before week one. The Giants players today elected 5 captains for the 2025 campaign. The team will be led by, obviously, Brian Burns, Sexy Dexy, Bobby Okereke, the 3 on the defense. And then we got Darius Slayton and Russell Wilson. We've finally been able to add leadership in every room, and we feel good about the team leadership, General Manager Joe Schoen said. I mean, it's one thing, obviously, it's nice adding, what would you say, young quality talent. And they've been doing that, past couple drafts. The first couple kind of, it was a little hit and miss there. Got a couple good ones in the first draft, but some, the second draft, but last couple drafts, not too shabby, right? But so it's really good to add that young talent in there. But you want to have that leadership as well too. So they got a nice little mixture, some of the guys obviously that they're bringing in, have some leadership qualities now. Even Holland, right? He wasn't voted captain, but some of these guys that that they brought in do have some leadership qualities to them. So it's not so much. It's one of the tough things. It always takes 2 to tango, right? Especially if you bring in somebody and not so much a draft pick, but if you're trading for somebody or picking up a free agent or something like that, right? It takes 2 to tango. They got to want to come here, right? The Giants? Are you kidding me? They've won 3 games over the past 9 years. I mean, you kidding me? I want to, but the Giants are trying to build something there. They're just not like, oh, we'll take that guy. Yeah, he's pretty good. No, they got they got to want to come here, but the Giants also got to want the people too. So it's not all that easy, And Shane said, and I think that showed throughout the spring and in training camp. The leadership, some of the veterans that we have, some of our own that have grown into leaders, I would say that's one of the bigger differences that I felt throughout this offseason. We like the roster, we like the chemistry, and we like the leadership. Now we've got to go out and do it on Sundays. Amen to that, brother. Wilson, obviously, is a captain for the 13th consecutive year. A streak that now extends to 4 different teams. Pretty impressive, right? Except for his rookie season in 2012, Wilson was the captain every year for the Seahawks from 2013 to 2021, with the Broncos 2022 and 2023, and the Steelers in 2023. Now the 10-time Pro Bowler can add the Giants to that list. 10-time Pro Bowler, right? As far as Russell, the leadership has been tremendous from the minute he walked in the building. Absolutely. I mean, nothing but, class and just, respect and just, he's doing everything right. There's nothing. Now, is it going to translate to wins on the field? Who knows? But as of right now, it seems like he's doing everything he possibly can. The attitude, the leadership, it's, he's just nothing but, and what we're paying the guy, my goodness. My goodness. Which is the problem is that, if he does good this year for the Giants, he's going to want to, it's going to be tough. If he really did good for the Giants this year, would the Giants want to bring him back because they got Dart? That's a tough one. But he's going to definitely want to bump in salary. But anyway, Shane said Russell's looked good in camp. He had a good camp. He's in good shape, and I'm excited to see what it looks like come the regular season. I'm excited to see some of those nice those balls down the field, and Malik running underneath them. Oh yeah. Sexy Dexy, meanwhile, is a captain for the 4th consecutive season. The 3-time Pro Bowler was recently ranked number 17th on the NFL's top 100 players of 2025, as voted on by current players around the league. So that's some respect right there. Big time respect. You're number 17 by all the players in the league. That means according to other players in the league, there's only 16 more guys that are more valuable, better, whatever than you are. Not at his position, but in the entire league. So that's saying something. Let's see. Oh, okay. That made him the highest ranked Giants defender ever to make the list, which debuted in 2011. Okay, so you go back like 15 years. While Lawrence is the longest tenured Giant on defense, Slayton holds that distinction on offense, and the Giants' 2024 Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee will be a captain for the first time. Okereke is a captain for the third consecutive year after signing with the Giants in 2023. Burns, who came over a year later, will be a captain for the fourth time in his career, but first with the Giants. He was a captain for the Panthers, who drafted him 19th overall in 2019, only 2 picks after Sexy, right? It was the captain for the Panthers for 3 consecutive seasons from 2021 to 2023. It means a lot, Burns said. I don't take it for granted. I was the captain for 3 years in Carolina. I didn't expect to be a captain in my first year here last year. Don't take it for granted. To have that C on my chest, to represent my teammates, to represent this organization and my coaches and everybody, it means a lot to me. Dave said he's had a very good camp. Not just some of the improvements that he's made and the techniques and the things he's worked on diligently, but I would say how he is approached every day. His finish stands out. I show a couple of clips of Burns almost every day of what he's doing at practice and the standard that he's creating for not just his position room, but for the entire team to see. He's done a good job off the field for us. He's done good on the field for us throughout training camp, throughout the offseason program. He's been a very good leader for us since we've been back here starting in April. Now, as I said, you go out there, hats off. Actually, to both. Hats off to Burnsy and hats off to Shane and company for bringing him in here. It's one thing to bring in a guy in high profile, pay him a bunch of bucks and stuff like that, and he just doesn't pan out or whatever. I'll tell you what, the guy, Lord knows, how many different injuries the guy has had. Last season, he was always nicked up with this. I'm sure he's nicked up a little bit now, but he had all kinds of stuff going on last year, and you're hard pressed to tell it by his performance on the field. He was always out there, always gave it his all. You go out and spend a lot of money on somebody, and they brought in. It was a grand slam. Is that we're going to win a Super Bowl with them, or is he going to be a Hall of Famer? No, it doesn't mean that. But it's just it was a real good pickup, really, really good pickup by Shane. Certainly getting our money's worth. $30 million a year. All right, let's see. Wilson and Burns served as game day captains for the Giants' first 2 preseason games this summer. Rookie first-round picks Abdul Carter and Jackson Dart went out for the coin toss before the third and final preseason game. Dable's first 2 seasons as head coach, the Giants had 10 captains. Last year, they had only 5. So they went down a lot. I remember that one year they had the 10. It was just it was first 2 seasons. I'm sorry. It was like half the team went out there. But I think every year is different, Dable said after announcing the vote. I think our guys evolve, and there's a number of other guys that had got votes, which is a good thing relative to the leaders in the room, like Chris Manhertz. Right? Apparently he got some votes. Guy hardly makes the field, but he got some votes for captain. Right? I say Chris Manhertz, for example, but those 5 guys got a considerable amount of votes, and I thought that was the right thing to do. So, very, very good, really good captains. Fantastic. Can't complain at all. Now, right, for the for obviously, people, we let so-and-so go and so-and-so go. We let so-and-so go. It's doesn't mean they're gone forever, right? Of course, we did let Tommy Chicken Cutlet Parmesan go. And we got nothing in return for him. I don't know if you'd ever find out. Probably never would. I'm sure they try to maybe pick the phone up and call and see, if anybody was interested in maybe making a trade for Tommy Cutlets. Right? It's a shame. You let a quarterback who can easily be on almost any other team's roster, right? who's shown he can win football games, not in the preseason, but in the NFL, in the regular season, has shown that, you know what I mean? You let him go and you get nothing for him in return. Shame. Really is a shame. But so the Giants, you know, their practice squad is certainly taking shape. They also added a few more guys to the practice squad. But let's see here. All right. So, I mean, let's see. They also picked up a couple guys too. We're going to talk about that in just a second. So the Giants first, right off the bat, they established a practice squad with the return of 13 players to start things off with. Okay. So the Giants began to fill out their practice squad with the initial 13 guys, right? All of whom spent the offseason with the team, right? You know, and that's what they wanted, you know. Especially on like Big Blue Kickoff Live, that's one of the things they talk about a lot. You know, they're not exactly sure exactly what the percentage is, but it's a big percentage about the guys that you let go, right? And compared to the guys on the practice, wind up being on the practice squad, maybe especially initially, you know, because guys get injured and then some of the guys maybe in the practice squad get elevated to the team and then you bring some guys in from someplace else or whatever, you know. So, but initially, right, that initial wave of guys that make the practice squad, a huge percentage of that are guys that were on the team during the the preseason, right? Now, one of the guys obviously didn't make it was Greg Dulcich. I don't blame him. I mean, he's with the. I made a joke of this kind of like on Facebook somewhere on one of the posts in Facebook. I mean, because the Dolphins now have Darren Waller and Greg Dulcich, and I made a thing. I guess they're going to try to sign Bob Tucker and maybe Mark Bavaro next. I guess the Dolphins, but I think that I want to move my foot. My dog, he's underneath me. Gotta be careful how I move my feet. All right, buddy. Okay. But the Giants apparently tried to bring Dulcich back, but I guess it didn't work out. Maybe the opportunity Miami might be a little more appetizing for him. I mean, because, you know, he's basically kind of like, you know, tight end number 5 if he was here. Now, you know, I mean, you know, whatever is going on with Theo Johnson, apparently he has some type of injury. Don't know what it is. But hopefully he'll be back by week 1. But, I mean, if somebody were to get injured, right, because that's not, you know, our tight ends do get injured. Theo Johnson got injured. Remember a couple of years ago, Bellinger got his eye poked and all that. And he missed a bunch of time. And, you know, so our tight ends do get injured. But I guess Dulcich felt, the opportunity in Miami was a little bit better, so he didn't want to re-sign him back with the Giants. But the Giants did try to bring him back. But, I mean, he had himself a pretty doggone good preseason. Now, of course, you know, a lot of it was when he was out there, he was going against probably third stringers on the other team. But he did pretty good. So, good for him. All right, so obviously, right? I mean, everybody was, you know, we let Chapman go, Elijah Chapman. Well, you know, he's back, right? He's back. Trace Ford, he had himself a very good preseason too. Toman Fox, he's almost been like a perennial practice squad guy for us. Elijah Garcia, Brian Hudson, who now once again, you know, when he was out there, he was going up against second, third stringers, whatever. But Brian Hudson, according to, now we had the 2 Hudsons. We got James Hudson and we got Brian Hudson. James Hudson is the swing tackle. Brian Hudson, okay, according to PFF, right, was the highest graded player on offense for the Giants this preseason. He ranked way up there, but he was not going against first stringers, right? But he did well. So Giants let him go, cleared waivers. Giants brought him back. All right. Little, who's not so little, Jordan Humphrey, right? Jake Kubas, who the Giants are pretty high on now. You know, he's going to need some, you know, I don't know, help with his pass blocking. His run blocking is definitely better, but the team does like Jake Kubas, right? Safety Raheem Lane, which is good. We're going to talk about, I mean, because the safety, I mean, the Giants at initial 53 only had 3 safeties, so it's kind of like, that'd be something going on, because usually you just don't have 3 safeties. Usually you want to have at least 4. So we'll talk a little bit more in just a short while here about a safety the Giants brought in, but Raheem Lane, safety, brought back. Hey Jude McAtamney is the international exemption, so the Giants actually allowed to have 17 players on the practice squad as long as one player qualifies and is designated as an international player, and Mr. McAtamney is. So Giants can have 17 players on the practice squad. Turbo Miller, a lot of people, that was one of the things there, well, running backs do get banged up. All right. So he might be somebody to keep an eye on, because he put some nice film out there. Not so much in the running game, right? But in the passing game, he put some nice film out there. Right? And of course, all the other teams saw that. So he's ripe for the picking. If somebody obviously plucks them off the Giants practice squad, they have to put them on their 53-man roster for at least 2 or 3 weeks. Right? So, but, everybody was, I don't know, everybody, a bunch of people were up in arms about letting him go, but we got him back. So we had Turbo Miller, Jordan Riley, Amir Smith-Marset, which is good, really, really good, and cornerback D. Williams initially, right? This is the initial wave. So Amir Smith-Marset, we let him go, and, so wound up getting him back, which is fantastic, right? Then the Giants, okay, they added, let's see what we had here. Whoops. What we had here. There you go. All right. Giants add 3 more players to their practice squad. So, Kadir, I'm going to say Ismail, tight end, Swaze Boozman, I'm going to say, and Patrick McMorris. Never really heard of the guys. Let's see. But Ismail is a 25-year-old, 6'6", 245 pounds. So these guys got added to the practice squad. He was originally signed by the Baltimore Ravens as an undrafted rookie free agent after the 2024 NFL Draft. He spent time on the practice squad of the Ravens as a rookie and signed with the Las Vegas Raiders in April 2025. The Raiders waived him earlier this week. So, now, they didn't want to, bring Dulcich back, right? So maybe this is their way of getting that 5th tight end on there, right? Let's see here. Bosman, the 26-year-old, 6'1", 230 pound, was originally signed by the Chiefs as an undrafted rookie free agent after the 2024 NFL Draft. He spent most of his rookie season on the Chiefs practice squad, but did play in 3 regular season games, mostly on special teams. Bozeman, I'm going to say Bozeman, signed with the Bears in January and was waived earlier this week. Then McMorris is a 23-year-old, 6-foot-tall, 206-pounder, was originally drafted in the 6th round of the 2024 NFL Draft by the Miami Dolphins. He played in 6 games as a rookie, mostly on special teams, and was credited with 1 tackle. The Dolphins waived him earlier this week. Let's see. The Giants still have 1 more spot open on their 17-man practice squad. 1 spot. Let's see. In other news, right, the Raiders signed Stone Forsythe to the 53-man roster. He was released by the Giants on Tuesday. So, Now, injuries, right? You got, as I say, Andrew Thomas is still working his way back. He's still trying to get back in shape, or trying to get it where he can play for week one. Let's hope he can. That would be fantastic. But it was in April. He was it Dane Dugan, one of the beat reporters. He was talking to him that initially he had some screws put in, and it was his foot from his foot. Okay. He had another surgery in April to get those screws removed. He said Thomas told The Athletic that he had a second surgery in April to remove a screw from the foot that was impacted by last season's Lisfranc injury. Thomas also said the other ankle, which has been surgically repaired multiple times, was scoped this offseason to remove scar tissue. Let's see. When Thomas asked if he will play in the opener, he responded, "I'm not sure yet. I haven't really done a ton of reps. I've done some individual drills, took some one-on-one reps. I'm just trying to progress slowly, so we'll see. But like I said, I'm not making any projections right now." When asked about Thomas before practice, head coach Brian Dable said he took some reps yesterday. Again, he's day by day. He's getting better every day. Sometimes we pull back off him the next day, but he's doing everything he can do to be as ready as he can be. So if he doesn't want it making it for, week one, at least the Giants had in the preseason had a boatload of guys play a bunch of snaps, right? So, do you want your best offensive lineman out there? Oh yeah, absolutely. But, we've done well so far, even though it was preseason, so without him. So hopefully he can get back in there. But the biggest thing too is it's like, he's having problems with his foot and his ankles. Like, can he stay healthy? Can he ever go another season, staying healthy? Right? He's either got a problem with one foot or an ankle. There's always something going on with the guy. Can he stay healthy? It'd be a shame if we have to go out and start looking for another left tackle once again. It's like, because if you realize, right, we drafted Eric Flowers in the 2015. This would be, I guess, his 11th season. So if he was a healthy, good tackle, he wound up being not a bad guard, right? Of course, Giants didn't have him in his guard. But, if he was actually a good tackle, right, he could still be playing. But made a bad pick. So then we got Andrew Thomas, who's so much better of a tackle, but he can't stay healthy. So we're going to look for another left tackle. I mean, that's the thing with the draft picks. It's, you got to hit on them, especially those early ones, obviously, But, hitting on him, but also can the guy stay healthy at all? I mean, it's just such a shame with Andrew Thomas because, he's such a fantastic left tackle that the Giants have had for, I don't know. Well, the last time we had a better left tackle, right? I mean, he's really pretty good. And the guy can't just stay healthy. Damn shame. But that practice squad, that thing's going to be, guys are going to get dropped left and right and all that. So it's very fluid, very, very fluid. Right. But the big story of the day isn't necessarily, well, it's Giants related, but it's not Giants related. Finally the saga, the Micah Parsons saga has come to an end. Now, a lot of people, including me, kind of thought that like maybe something, that they're pushing it to the last minute, and they'll get something done and all that. The thing is that, the Cowboys got to play the Eagles in like about a week, right? And he hasn't really played at all, so I don't know how he planned on being in the starting lineup in a week from now. I mean, he probably, if his back is okay, And the Packers paid $47 million a year for a guy who might have a problem with his back. I mean, there's no way. And I mean, they're paying like ABCD Lamb, I don't know, like $40 million somewhere. Dak Prescott's like about 60. They're paying that guy. It would be Parsons almost about 50. I mean, it's like, I mean, if the Cowboys paid him almost $50 million a year, they'd be paying like, I don't know, what is that, like $150 million a year for three guys. It's like, whew, wow. I mean, there's no way I'd be paying Micah Brown. I mean, it makes you kind of scratch your head though, right? I mean, if Abdul Carter is that good, what's he going to want? 4 or 5 years, huh? Wow. But at least the Micah Parsons saga is all over with, and he's out of the NFC East. And when we play the Packers, we'll have to see him. And we'll have to see him, and we'll have to see Xavier McKinney. So the Packers are paying about $65 million for Xavier McKinney and Micah Parsons. $65 million for those two guys this season. Wow. A lot of money. But he's at least he's out of the NFC East, so won't have to see him twice this season. Now, with them, I mean, is he one of the reasons why the Giants would lose? Yeah, one of the reasons, but he's not the reason, But I mean, somebody that good and phenomenal, all of that, and he's out of the NFC East. Cool. That makes him. I mean, they got 2 first-round picks for him, and they got was it Ryan Clark? I think it is, like the defensive tackle, who Jerry Jones was saying that it's going to really help their run defense. He said they've had some issues stopping the run, so with Clark there, hopefully, his beef will help clog up the middle. So that'll help them hopefully with their run defense, right? But so they got a player and they got 2 first-round picks. So what they wind up doing with those, we will have to wait and see. But where we're at here. All right, so Micah Parsons, how the Dallas Star leaving the NFC East affects the Giants. What's it mean for Big Blue here? All right. Don't be surprised if the Giants are popping open some champagne to celebrate the departure of a key member of their division foe. And honestly, honestly, I'm certainly not saying, we're gonna sweep them, because basically Dallas comes in MetLife Stadium. This is the home for them. This is their second home right here. I mean, they just pitch a tent here. They probably have more fans in the stands than Giant fans. And I don't know. I think Jesus Christ walked the earth last time we beat the Cowboys here. I mean, it's just an absolute joke, really is. But I mean, if we don't beat them at least one time this year, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they're not that good. They got some stars, they got some players, but I mean, if we can't beat them with the talent that we got at least one time, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. So it says the huge blast of wind you likely just felt is coming from East Rutherford, where the Giants are undoubtedly breathing a sigh of relief following the news of the blockbuster trade between the Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers. For those who haven't heard, the Cowboys sent disgruntled outside linebacker Micah Parsons to the Packers in exchange for 2 first-round draft picks and all-pro defensive tackle Kenny Clark. So, I mean, in return, they got themselves a pretty doggone good defensive tackle and 2 first-round picks. Plus, they saved themselves a boatload of money. And you also look at it, too, right, is that you figure, if they got themselves 2 first-round picks from the Packers, who quite possibly will have a decent record. I'm not saying they're going to be 16-1, but they're not going to be 1-16 either. They're not going to good chance they're not giving up a top 10 pick. So chances are they'll probably be giving up pick number 20 to 25 or something like that to the Cowboys. So they're not giving up like 2 top 5 picks and Clark, right? So they're giving up 2 first rounders, right? So that's a fair price to pay. But the thing is that with the Cowboys saving themselves some money is that, those that pick number 22 or 23 or 25, whatever in the draft is only, for first 4 years or so is, I don't know, what, $5 million a year, somewhere around there. I mean, they're paying him literally like almost like, well, not guaranteed, but I think it's annual salary of $47 million a year. $47 million a year. Wow. A lot of money. A whole lot of money. Parsons, meanwhile, was seeking a new contract, become the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL after agreeing to terms on a 4-year, $188 million contract that averages out to $47 million per year. For 4 seasons, from 2021 to 2024, the Giants' offense had to contend with neutralizing the Cowboys' pass rushing duo of Dexter Lawrence and Micah Parsons, which proved to be a nightmare. But after Lawrence departed the Cowboys for the Seahawks and free agency following the 2024 season, and with the latest news that Parsons was traded to the Packers, there is a huge sigh of relief over at 1925 Giants Drive in East Rutherford that they will no longer have to face that game-wrecking duo, which combined for 706 tackles, 34 fumbles, wow, and 114 sacks twice a year. Wow. Parsons, who will bring the Cowboys 2 first-round draft picks and defensive tackle Kenny Clark in the deal, famously carried on the tormenting of the Giants quarterbacks and the Giants offense in general. According to True Media, via the Locked On Giants podcast, in games Parsons played against the Giants, New York managed 5.7 yards per play, 133.2 yards per game. Man. Giants didn't average 133.2 yards per game. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about there. 4.9 yards per rushing attempt and 6.9 yards per pass attempt. In games that Parsons did not play against the Giants averaged 6.2 yards per play, 4.7 yards per rush, and 8.6 yards per pass attempt. So, let's see. In games that the Giants played against Parsons, they ran the ball, got a little better yards per carry. But the other, in the other games, that Parsons did play, the Giants averaged 8.6 yards per pass attempt, which is really good. But in games that Parsons did play against the Giants, the Giants only averaged 6.9 yards per pass attempt. So, but the Giants will see Parsons again this season, assuming he's healthy, when they host the Green Bay Packers in Week 11 on November 4th. But interestingly, though, too, the Cowboys, who are entering the first season under new head coach Brian Schottenheimer, will have a huge task in trying to fill the pass rushing power they've lost. But don't expect the Giants or the Eagles or the Commanders, for that matter, to feel bad for their NFC East rival. Now, I believe I can't remember. I don't remember if the Cowboys got to play in Green Bay or Green Bay's got to play in Dallas or not, but they are going to have to go up against one another during the season. So, Parsons is definitely going to want to play in that one. I think it was like $130-something million guaranteed that Parsons got. So 100 whatever it was, $188 million. I mean, if he stays healthy for all his, $47 million a year. Wow, a lot of freaking money. A lot of freaking money. I don't, but it's what it is. Obviously the Packers, did very, very good for themselves. There. We'll see if, what it means to them, because, they're in a tough division, right? You figure between the Vikings, you figure the Lions, the Packers are really good. And if the Bears can actually get some good, competent coaching, they can be a good team as well, too. Now, they had themselves a very good preseason. So, so that division right there is very tough, very, very tough. So, and the Packers just made themselves a little bit tougher. Now, can they overcome the loss of Clark in the middle as far as what they're running? But that we will have to wait and see. But the Giants did pick up a couple guys off of waivers, right? And the thing is that, the fact that they only had 3 safeties on their 53-man roster made you kind of think that possibly that somewhere along the line, something was going to pop up where they were going to pick a safety. And Bo Braid, ta-da, right? They got him. Now, it seems like the two. I'm going to go over to the other guy in just a second here, but it seems like these guys, will be, obviously backups, but special teams contributors, right? So let me share my screen here, and let me share screen. All right, where are we at here? There we go. All right, go, Mr. Braid here. There we go. All right. Now let's see. So we'll go. Let's see, preseason. We'll go this past preseason, 2025. Okay. All right. So he played in all 3 games. Right. Now, this was right. This is on defense. Okay. So we'll go over both. All right. But drafted in 2024 from the Ravens, free agent, not drafted, but free agent out of the 2024 draft. But his defense, right? He played in all 3 games, graded out pretty well, right? But once again, what kind of talent was he going up against? Probably second stringers, probably third stringers, but he did well, right? He did do well. Okay. Now, 34 snaps against the Colts, played 19 snaps against the Cowboys, and his past third game they played against the Commanders, he was in there for 29 snaps. But let's see, what he's going to have to be, he's going to have to do some special teams here, right? Same thing here against the Colts, 18 snaps on special teams, week 1 of the preseason. Against the Cowboys is in there for 12 snaps, and then week 3 against the Commanders in there for 7 snaps. But overall grade of an 84, very impressive. I mean, you get over an 80 on special teams, that's really impressive. Although the only thing I don't quite understand is none of these grades here is an 84. So I don't know how can it average an 84. I don't quite understand that. But an 80 in the first game, a 73 and a 67. So some very impressive grades there. Now we look here in 2024. Let's see, 2024, the preseason as the special teams as well, too. Right? Should be. Yep. All right. Played in all 3 games, special teams, last season. Graded 61.4. Right? A little bit on defense. Let me go here on defense here. He played last year. He did play a little bit on defense. Right. Now he played defense here, and this is preseason, right? Not too bad. He did grade it out much better this season on defense in the preseason. But let's go to the regular season. He played a little bit. Played in 3 games. Grand total of 11 snaps. Okay, so let's go to regular season here and go to special teams. So obviously got a lot more snaps on special teams. Right? Regular season, 2024 regular season on special teams. Right? He played in a lot of games. He missed the first five weeks, whatever it was. I'm not sure if he was on the practice squad there. That I don't know. But he wound up with 207 snaps on special teams. Okay, and as I said, he missed the first 5 weeks. So had he played in the first 5 weeks, he would have had 275 snaps on special teams, which is a lot. We had a 53.5. Okay, which is not bad. But I mean, the Giants needed somebody on as a safety, and and obviously if you're backup, especially if you're backup in the secondary, you're going to have to play on special teams, and that's what looks like Braid is doing right here. Let's see here. Oops. So we got the Giants claim safety Bo Braid off of waivers. Let's see. So the Giants claimed 2 guys off of waivers. In corresponding moves, the Giants waived rookie cornerback Corey Black. They have to waive him. Okay, see if he clears, then they can bring him back. right? Corey Black. The team's final pick in this year's draft, and he terminated the contract of veteran wide receiver Gunnar Olszewski. It was odd, so they wound up keeping Gunnar, right? They had 6 wide receivers, now they're down to 5, right? So they wound up putting these Bo Braid and Rico Payton, who I'm going to go over in just a minute here. They picked those 2 guys up. So now they have 7 cornerbacks because they let Corey Black go. They had 7. They let Corey Black go. They picked up Rico Payton, so they still have 7 cornerbacks. And now they have 4 safeties. So they have 11 guys in the secondary on the team as of right now anyway. All right. Let's see here. Braid is 6 foot tall and 209 pounds, played 11 games for the Ravens as an undrafted rookie in 2024. He logged only 11 snaps on defense, but played 207 snaps on special teams, the second most among all Baltimore's defensive backs. As I said, he missed the first 5 weeks. Prior to the NFL, Braid played 4 years at the University of Maryland and was a college teammate of Giants cornerback Deonte Banks, the 24th overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. Braid appeared in 42 games for the Terrapins. We had 25 starts, totaling 177 tackles, 115 were solo, 11 passes defense, 9.5 tackles for loss, 3 interceptions, 3 forced fumbles, and 1 sack. He was named honorable mention All Big Ten in 2022 and 2023 and voted a team captain as a senior. Now, the Giants, that's one of the things important to the Giants, being a captain on your college team. That's important. Braid was the 7th round selection of the San Antonio Brahmas in the 2024 UFL draft. Interesting. His father, Ron, played football at Virginia Tech. All right. So once again, it's not something to, get unbelievably carried away, but, they just guys cleared off. They got off of waivers. It's depth, right? I guess, they have one more spot on their practice squad. So it'll be interesting to see. Really interesting. They kept Gunnar on the 53 and they just terminate his contract and don't bring him back. Or, they drafted Corey Black. I'd have a hard time seeing if anybody picks him up off of waivers. So interesting to see if the Giants wind up bringing him back. Because it really seemed like the Giants, especially with Shane, right, with his regime, it's like, if they draft you, chances are you're on the team the first year. They just don't draft you and just let you go. Even if you had a kind of mediocre, preseason or whatever, they stick with you for at least a couple of seasons. So be interesting to see, if Corey Black winds up making his way back onto the practice squad. Or not on the back on the practice, but onto the practice squad. Very, very interesting. All right. Now, so I said, so we got that. So we picked up 1 safety. Right. And now they claimed Rico Payton off of waivers. Once again, these guys, I'd never heard of them before. Right? They said they're both young. Same thing. We're going to wind up spending time, with special teams. It's going to be huge for them. So, but once again, with Peyton, with Braid, and all that, if they're on the roster today and they're gone tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Would not be surprised at all. All right. So let me go over here, and it'd probably be the same thing here with Peyton, right? Special teamer. All right, let's see what heck we had here. Rico Payton. There we go. All right. Here we go. All right, there he is. All right, so now it's the same thing, right? Young guys, right? 2024 undrafted free agent. He's from New Orleans, right? 5'11", 178 pounds. Not very big. Now this is here. Okay, this is the on special teams. This is last season, regular season special teams. Now you see played a lot. 243 snaps. So he even played even more snaps than Braid did, right? Graded out of 59. Nothing super spectacular, but he can play on special teams, right? And not only that, but if you need somebody out there, for maybe the seventh cornerback, well, he's your guy, I guess, right? Let's see. So let me see in the special teams. All right, let's go here. Last season, let's look at where we at here. Defense. Okay, here we go. All right. 2024 regular season defense. All right, he played a grand total of 22 snaps. It was the same thing with Braid. He played in some games on defense, did not play a lot of snaps. Same thing here with Peyton. He played some games on defense last season during the regular season, but did not get a lot of snaps. Played in 4 games, grand total of 22. Right? He graded out of 66.2 overall. Right? But very small sample size. Okay, so now let's go to 2025 here. Good boy. All right, let's go, not regular, let's go to preseason 2025. All right, let's go to special teams. All right. I only didn't play in week 3. Don't know why. But he played in a grand total of 25 snaps preseason, graded out of 68, which is very good. Right. But once again, who was he going up against? Was he going up against second stringers? Was he going up against third stringers? Who knows? Right. Let's see. So we got 2025 preseason, and then once again, we'll go to defense. All right. The first 2 weeks, he played 47 snaps on defense in preseason, graded out of 51.6. Right, nothing super spectacular. Right, 2024. Let's see. He not too bad. 2024 regular season. 2024 preseason. I'm sorry. 2024 preseason. He did wound up doing pretty well for himself. He graded out of 83 overall. 107 snaps in 2024 preseason. He played in all 3 games. 107 snaps, graded out of 83 overall. He must have had a great game against Arizona. He graded out in 33 snaps, graded out 91.7. Man. Did he pick a pass off already? No. Wow. Oh, he had 3 pass breakups. That's pretty impressive. But he gave up a touchdown. Interesting. He had 6 targets. He gave up 1 reception. Must have been for 10 yards and a touchdown. But he gave up a touchdown. He still graded out at a 90 for his coverage grade. But he got targeted 6 times, only gave up 1 reception. And he had 3 pass breakups. So that'll get you a 90. Okay. So once again, same thing with Rico Payton. It's just, I said, if they're here today and they're gone tomorrow, don't be too surprised. All right, where are we at here? Okay, so let's go over Mr. Payton here. So he's 6 foot tall. Here they have 182 pounds. At PFF, they had 179 pounds, I think. So not real big. He's kind of like a Cordell Flott kind of guy, right? Signed with the Saints as an undrafted free agent out of Pittsburgh State in 2024. I think they said Pittsburgh State. I think on Big Blue Kickoff Live, I think they said Pittsburgh State was in Kansas, because it's not spelled Pittsburgh like the city, like the Pittsburgh Steelers. There is no H on the end of this Pittsburgh. It's Pittsburg. There's no H. So Pittsburgh State in 2024, I think they said it was out of Kansas or Missouri, one of those. In 16 games as a rookie, he racked up 13 special teams tackles, 10 solo, and broke up a pass. Payton spent his final 4 college seasons at Pittsburgh State. Oh, it was in Kansas. Okay. After starting his career at Southern Illinois in 2023, he was named a team captain and earned All-Mid-America Intercollegiate Athletics Association honor. Let's see. Okay, and Shane's talking about Braid is a player out of Maryland that we spent some time with coming out in the draft, and we liked. General Manager Joe Schoen said. So he played on special teams for Baltimore last year. Also can be a depth safety for us, so he's a high-character kid. He's smart, tough, and dependable. And that's his Braid, not Peyton. He checked all those boxes and can be also participate on special teams. Rico Payton, a guy that also last year during this time we were hoping, you hope some of these guys get cut and they end up making teams and playing, and he's a really good special teams player. We also think he has a defensive value, so just to upgrade the depth at both of those positions, we're happy to get those guys. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, nothing super duper spectacular, right? Doesn't seem like any of the guys have any type of long, possibly like history of injuries or anything like that. But once again, smart, tough, and dependable. That's what they're looking for, and that's what they got. But I mean, they said, I mean, at this, it's always fluid, right? I mean, this time yesterday we had Gunnar Olszewski and we had Corey Black on the 53-man line. Now they're gone, and we got two other guys on there. So I mean, do they pick up two other guys tomorrow and knock those two guys out? I mean, right? The practice squad is almost full, right? So anybody else we pick up, right, is going to have to, somebody else is going to have to get knocked off somewhere, right? But we did let Corey Black go. He has to clear waivers. If he clears waivers, maybe we bring him back. Don't know. It's just odd that we kept Gunnar Olszewski on the 53-man roster. He's part of the 53, and then like a day or so later, he's gone. So we'll have to wait and see what winds up happening to him. But it's nothing's ever final, right? It's not like we can sit down and relax now, let the season play out because our roster is done. It's fun now. Never is. Never is. All right, guys, been almost 1 hour, almost 58 minutes. Whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you, thank you, thank you. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching the replay this, once again, thank you so much. From the bottom of my heart, means the world to me. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants! Woo! Oh, yeah. Thank you.